Hey, I'm William Shatner, and this is the first time. First time I wrote a song would have been with Ben Folds on an album called Has Been.
My favorite shows on TV have 12 minutes of advertising. I can't get behind that kind of time.
We started writing songs, and I thought, wait a minute, I can write a lyric about this. I'd written poetry and screenplays and books and stuff like that, but finding the precise word, what a lot of people don't understand is you can paint with words if you have the vocabulary. I was just reading about how Vermeer painted and repainted and the use of light. So his subtlety with paint is the subtlety you can use with words if you have, what do you call that thing again? The paint thing. Well, if you have that in words, what is that word? It'll come to us. I had heard or realized that Tambourine Man was really a cry for drugs. Mr. Tambourine Man, where are you? So when I chose that song to perform, I was doing an album about lyrics and literary material. So I chose Mr. Tambourine Man as a cry for help.
I'm not sleepy, and there is no place I'm going to.
And chose the literary material that accompanied that, segued into it. Cyrano de Bergerac, the literary material ends, I may climb to no great heights, but I will climb alone. So it was a guy who was doing this alone and without the help of drugs. That was my connection to Mr. Tambourine Man, which without the connection, you don't know what I'm doing, which is what a lot of people realize. What's he doing? Well, that's what I was doing. What's a country song? You see, the definitions are somewhat obtuse. For example, on this album, Bill, there is a country song called So Far From the Moon.
My marriage had been canceled, and so had my show.
Brad Paisley accompanies me and sings the song while I do my thing. But it became a country song because Brad Paisley did it.
So far from the moon.
Nolan, his vibe, and it became a country song. And I don't know whether we thought of it as a country song, because one of the problems of this album, Bill, is that Rob the poet and I would work a song over the lyrics over it, then we send it to Dan, who would lay a rhythmic bed, and then I would do it and that. But what was the character of the song? In some cases, not all, but in some cases, the song became what the artist we asked to accompany me was. Years and years ago, my kids were in love with the Jonas Brothers.
I'm a sucker for you. Yeah.
And they were on tour, so figure out how long ago that was. And they wanted to go see the Jonas Brothers. So because I had a little pull, got tickets, I said, you want to meet? Yeah, we got to meet. So we got to meet the Jonas Brothers. And I met Joe Jonas, not realizing that many, many years later, Joe Jonas would hear some of the songs that the three of us had written and want to be a part of it.
Clouds of guilt, oh, it's just the way I'm built.
And brought it from his label to Republic, which brought it to Universal. What was the first time I stepped onto the bridge? You know, in the old days, before they started projecting backgrounds and stuff like that, or whole sets. So you'd be you now are frequently in the middle of nothing. You're in front of a green screen, which may be 360 degrees. I've done those where they're projecting all over. So you're in the middle of nowhere, and yet when you see the finished image, you're in the Andes or in the Roman Empire. Movie sets can be marvelously wonderful, complex, and taken months to make. This set was different from any other set I'd been on. And I vaguely remember walking onto it. I'm the leading actor. And I look on. I think, my God, this is going to be my home for at least this year. Wow. It was awe and wonder. I met Leonard on the set of Star Trek when the cast was called to start filming. I do remember vividly him saying, when there was a fight between us, a staged fight between the characters, he said, Spock wouldn't do that. It was first of many times Leonard would say that. Well, what would he do? Well, I don't know. He might pinch. And he pinched me on the shoulder. And I, as a reaction, fell to the ground. Everybody laughed, and that became the pinch. I went on stage in front of 15,000 people, not knowing what I was going to say, having no written material whatsoever, at a Star Trek convention in the 70s. That was a frightening experience, and it took many experiences like it to become accustomed to it. That was, I think, the first or the second, because they had a first, and I thought, hey, I'm a serious actor. I don't do that kind of thing. And then I heard there were 15,000 people waiting. I said, okay, that's the kind of thing I do.